Hey everyone, I'm Z Ultra, and today I'm bringing the continuation to What If Deku Had a Quirk. If you haven't already, go check out part 1. It will be linked in the description below. Before we begin, I would like to clarify Deku's quirk. There are many different interpretations of what Deku's quirk would have looked like if he had developed one in the main story. In this story, it is a mixture of his mother's telekinesis with his father's supposed fire quirk. The way it works is that he can use the telekinesis on all objects, along with making them catch fire. His telekinesis is also stronger and more trained than that of his mother, so he can shoot the fiery object at the enemy. That's pretty much all there is to it. Without further to say, sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. After the conversation between All Might and Izuku, All Might began to walk away, his breath heavy and ragged. His sharp eyes scanned below, but something caught his attention. The 2 soda bottles that once trapped the sludge villain were gone. "Damn it!" he muttered, his voice hoarse. "He's escaped." With a strained effort, he began to walk down the stairs. Down below, Izuku Midoriya walked quietly, still catching his breath from the rooftop encounter. Suddenly, a scream shattered the calm. Rushing forward, Izuku spotted Bakugo trapped in a sludge mess. The same villain that All Might had saved him from earlier had escaped. Bakugo struggled violently, explosions flickering from his hands. "Get off me, you slime!" The pro heroes nearby hesitated, wary of stepping in. Bakugo's glare locked on Izuku, a flicker of desperation hiding beneath his usual scowl. Izuku was terrified at first, but then remembered that this was probably his fault. In a flash, grabbed a piece of metal from the ground. The moment his fingers touched it, heat flickered and flames danced along its surface. With a determined shout, he hurled the flaming piece of scrap at the sludge, knocking some away from Bakugo's face. The villain hissed, recoiling. Izuku snatched up chunks of debris, igniting each one before throwing them again and again. Fire and heat bursting in quick succession. It was as if he were shooting flaming bullets at the sludge and trying not to hit Bakugo in the process. Despite his fatigue and burns, Izuku pressed on. Suddenly, a gust of wind whipped through the alley. A loud, "I am here," is heard. All Might, now fully transformed and radiant, landed with a heavy thud, grimacing as he raised a hand to blast the sludge villain away. The sludge flew everywhere under his attack. All Might looked at Izuku, breath shallow but eyes steady. "You've done well." Izuku nodded, exhausted but unbroken. As the sludge villain was placed into another container, sirens blared in the distance. Within moments, several more pro heroes arrived on the scene. Stern faces, arms crossed, eyes narrowed. One hero stepped forward, voice clipped. "Kid, what do you think you're doing? Fighting villains without proper training? You could have gotten yourself killed." Another added, "You're reckless. This isn't a game, kid. You're lucky All Might showed up when he did." Izuku's breath hitched, guilt and exhaustion washing over him. But before he could respond, All Might strode between Deku and the pro heroes, towering and resolute. Now, let's not be too harsh on our young Midoriya here," All Might said with a broad grin that didn't quite reach his tired eyes. He showed courage when it mattered. The pro heroes opened their mouths to protest but faltered under All Might's commanding presence. "Back off, everyone. This is not the time," he declared, waving them away. As the pro heroes grumbled and reluctantly retreated, flashing cameras and reporters suddenly swarmed the scene. All Might protecting the next generation as always, one reporter shouted. All Might raised a hand, mock exasperated. "Not now, please. We've got a hero to help." Despite his attempts, the media swarmed and whisked All Might away in a chaotic whirlwind of questions and flashes. Once the crowd dispersed, Izuku found himself alone with Bakugo, who had been silently watching the whole scene with a scowl. Bakugo crossed his arms. "You think you are better than me? Deku?" Izuku swallowed, trying to steady himself. "I was just trying to help. You were in trouble." Bakugo sneered. "Help? You call throwing a few firecrackers around help? You're weak, Deku. Always have been." Izuku's eyes lowered. Maybe I'm not strong yet, but I'm not giving up. You'll see. Bakugo laughed bitterly. Yeah, keep dreaming. Just stay out of my way. Without another word, Bakugo turned and stomped off, leaving Izuku standing alone, bruised and exhausted. Izuku walked home slowly, his thoughts tangled with the day's events. His hand lightly brushed a small pebble on the pavement, making it lift and flicker with soft flames before dropping back down. From behind, a voice called out, warm but firm, "Midoriya, wait up!" Izuku turned to see All Might approaching in his skinny, weakened form, a side of the hero rarely seen by the public. "All Might," Izuku whispered, surprised. "I've been watching you," All Might said, eyes serious but kind. "I saw how you stood your ground earlier. That kind of courage is rare." Izuku's chest tightened. "I'm still learning to control my quirk. It's nothing like the heroes with powerful abilities." All Might smiled gently. "Your quirk is different, yes, but it's yours. And potential isn't just about power, it's about heart. And you have plenty of that." Izuku looked up, hope stirring. "So, I could really be a hero someday?" "All heroes start somewhere," All Might replied. "You have the spirit. Keep training, keep pushing yourself. That's what makes a true hero." All Might hesitated for a moment, his gaze distant. "He's not ready for what I carry. Maybe his path lies elsewhere, not with One for All." But he kept his thoughts to himself, focusing instead on the boy's hopeful eyes. "Remember," All Might said as he turned to leave, "being a hero isn't about flashy powers. It's about saving people, no matter what." Izuku's voice caught the fading footsteps. "I'll never forget that. Thank you, All Might." The night swallowed the hero's silhouette as Izuku arrived home. The next day, Izuku stood alone in the quiet backyard, sunlight filtering through the trees. His hands hovered over a scattered collection of pebbles, twigs, and leaves, all carefully arranged on the ground like pieces in a puzzle. He closed his eyes briefly, then reached out, touching a small stone. It trembled and lifted, glowing faintly with soft flames licking its edges. "Focus on the feeling. It's not just about lifting, it's about understanding," he muttered to himself, recalling the notes he'd scribbled late into the night. The stone floated steadily, and Izuku slowly raised his other hand. Guiding it in a gentle arc, flames flickered brighter, warming the stone without burning it. Suddenly, the pebble darted forward, faster than he intended, and slammed against the wooden fence with a sharp crack. Izuku's brow furrowed. "Not again," he sighed, shaking his head. He bent down to pick up the pebble and glanced at his notebook, pages filled with diagrams and detailed observations. "Control the lift first. Keep the flame steady. Don't overheat." Taking a deep breath, Izuku extended both hands. This time, multiple objects, a twig, a pebble, and a dry leaf, floated smoothly around his fingers, each burning softly with a different intensity. He practiced directing them in spirals and circles, the flames flickering in harmony. Sweat dotted his forehead, but a small smile crept onto his lips. "I'm getting there." After minutes of steady focus, he moved into his next exercise, launching a flaming pebble toward a makeshift target, a stack of empty cans. His hand shot forward, and the pebble soared in a bright trail of fire, hitting the target dead center. The cans rattled and tumbled. Izuku's chest swelled with pride. "Offense and accuracy. I just need more practice." He wiped his brow and glanced at the fading sun. "If I can master this, I can make it through UA. I have to." Weeks had passed since Izuku began his rigorous training. Each afternoon, he pushed himself harder, honing the delicate balance between telekinetic control and flame manipulation. Inko stood nearby, ever watchful, holding a bright red fire extinguisher firmly in her hands. Her eyes flicked between her son and the small trail of flames dancing around the yard. "Izuku, be careful. Remember what happened last time," she called with a half-smile, half-worry. Izuku grinned sheepishly, flames flickering around a floating stick as he attempted a new maneuver. "Don't worry, Mom. I've got it under control this time," he said confidently. But just as the words left his mouth, a sudden spark leapt too high, catching the edge of the wooden fence ablaze. Izuku's eyes widened as panic flickered across his face. Inko didn't hesitate. With swift steps, she grabbed the extinguisher and sprayed a generous cloud of foam over the flames. "Again! You're lucky I'm here!" she exclaimed, chuckling. Izuku lowered his hands, cheeks burning red, but a small smile tugged at his lips. Yeah, maybe I need more practice." Inko gave him a playful nudge. "Just promise me you'll keep training, but keep the fires outside the fence. Okay?" Izuku nodded, determination shining in his eyes. "I will. I have to be ready for UA." The day of the UA entrance exam dawned bright and buzzing with nervous energy. Groups of hopeful students gathered outside the imposing gates, chattering excitedly about their quirks and dreams. Izuku adjusted his backpack strap and took a deep breath. His heart pounded with a mix of anxiety and anticipation. "This is it," he thought. "I'm finally here." He stepped forward, eyes fixed on the towering gates ahead. But as he hurried along the crowded path, his foot caught on a loose stone. He stumbled forward, arms flailing, but before he could reach the floor, he felt a soft touch on his back. He then began to levitate. "Hey, are you okay?" A short brunette girl asked kindly, a gentle smile on her face. Izuku blinked, surprised. "Why, yeah. Thank you. I didn't see that stone." She nodded, still smiling. "First time here, too? Don't worry. It's easy to get overwhelmed." Izuku smiled back, feeling a little less nervous. "Thanks. I'm Izuku Midoriya. Uraraka Achiko," she replied. "Good luck in the exam." With that, they parted ways, both stepping forward into UA's grand courtyard. Soon after, the exam instructor called everyone inside. "Welcome to UA's written exam," he announced. "This portion will test your knowledge of hero basics, strategy, and quirk application." Izuku took his seat, fingers trembling slightly as he faced the exam paper. He glanced around at the other students, some confident, others anxious like him. But he took a deep breath and focused. "This is my chance," he thought. "I have to prove I belong here." And that's it for part 2. What do you all think? Is Izuku's story interesting so far? How are the character interactions? Leave suggestions and critiques down below in the comments. I'll make sure to reply as soon as I can. Credits go to Hernandez for helping to write the story, and to Slight and Bryke for editing today's video. Till next time, thank you.